What is going on, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. My name is Richie, and tonight we got a big Knicks matchup against the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland on ESPN, 7 p.m. EST. The Knicks are unfortunately in a little rut right now. They are trying to find themselves. They are trying to survive with the unfortunate injuries to these New York Knicks, and now they got a big test going up against one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. We all know them very well, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell and the boys. Woo! All right. This is a big-time game for the Knicks. Unfortunately, we are coming off a tough game on Thursday against the Golden State Warriors at Madison Square Garden. That game was a tough watch right from the start. Going down 14-0. You knew it was going to be a tough battle. The Knicks fought and clawed their way back, cut it to 5 points at some point, but you go down that big to the Golden State Warriors that early on, it's going to be a long game. So the Knicks have to make sure they go into Cleveland and set the tone and prove that the trade that we made for Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks was a good one, because as of right now, Knicks fans are scratching their heads right now about that trade. And I know that it's hard to really evaluate the trade until we get the boys back in OG and Julius and Mitch. But, man, we made that trade to help this Knicks team stay afloat. I believe we're 3-7 in our last 10 games. So things are definitely interesting right now. The Knicks are going through a lot of adversity, and let's hope that we can figure it all out tonight. So we're going to preview the game and get into some key matchups and go over the odds presented by BetUS Sportsbook as well. The proud sponsor of Knicks Media. If you all want to sign up for BetUS Sportsbook, definitely go down below in the description and sign up with the code JOIN125. Click in that link down below, and you will get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,500. We're going to get into all the odds presented by BetUS. As you can see right here, the Knicks are plus 6.5 tonight in Cleveland. So that's definitely interesting. So we're going to get into all the odds presented by BetUS.
BetUS, America's favorite sports book, where you can bet on everything anytime. Sportsbook, live betting, and casino. To celebrate 30 years in business, we have the best bonuses in the industry. Get a 125% sign-up bonus and up to 30 risk-free bets. So what are you waiting for? Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.
Where the game begins, baby. Let's get into details of this game. Jason's in the chat. Hit that like button, Knicks Nation. You know the vibes, Jason. Appreciate it. My bro, New York Flight Jets Talk. What's up, Connor? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Now, the Knicks and the Cavaliers, this is a matchup that I feel like Knicks fans have grown to just hate, right? I wouldn't say hate. It more or less is like, just last year, the whole Donovan Mitchell trade that didn't happen for the Knicks, and for him to go to the Cavaliers and not the Knicks, and then for the Knicks to face off against them in the first round of the playoffs last year, and for us to beat them in 5, we kind of feel like we're superior than the Cavaliers. But let's be honest with ourselves. The Cavaliers are the better basketball team this season, and the Knicks got to go into Cleveland shorthanded and figure out a way to get the job done, okay? We have to make sure that we get the job done tonight, because the schedule is not getting easier, and we can expect OG and Randall to come back soon. But at the end of the day, folks, we need to make sure that these Knicks get on the same page, and we're going to break down how they will do that in this show. Connor asks, how much longer you have the studio for? I'm actually out of my studio. This is the studio at home that I have that I've been making content out of since I started YouTube 5 years ago. But the other studio officially moved out of there. It was a separate space than my home. So if that answers your question. But let's get into some key things that I want to talk about in tonight's matchup. Now, Donovan Mitchell and the Cavaliers are having a hell of a season, right? Donovan's averaging 28 points per game, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. And in their last 5 matchups for the Cavs, they beat the Detroit Pistons, they lost to the Chicago Bulls, they beat the Mavericks, beat the Wizards, and lost to the 76ers. So they have, won 3 of the last 5 games, where the New York Knicks last 5 games, not as good. We've won 2 of our last 5 games. Recently losing to the Warriors, Pelicans. We beat the Pistons barely, losing to the Celtics. And then we started off the post-All-Star break with the W in Philadelphia. So the Knicks have proven to be a pretty good road team this year. not as great as years past. I feel like we're definitely the better team at home this year, but I feel like the Knicks are comfortable going on the road. They are very familiar with the Cavaliers system. They're familiar with the personnel simply because of that playoff series that we had to go through last year. So I think that this Knicks team is going to be ready to really put this, because I feel like right now, Knicks fans, this team is finding themselves. They are reestablishing that continuity that we saw them have, that 9-game winning streak, and they're trying to figure each other out. So I'm definitely curious to get your guys' thoughts in the chat of your expectations for tonight's game. Do you think that the Knicks have a chance to win this game? What's your level of optimism? Do you have pessimism with these Knicks? Definitely feel free to let me know in the live chat right now, folks, and we'll get into your comments and concerns. Don't forget to hit that like button right now for your boy on Knicks Media. It's 12:47 p.m. EST, and boy, oh boy, is it a beautiful day in New York today. 55 degrees and sunny. Woo! It's a great day because yesterday, man, the weather stunk. So I'm really excited to go outside after this show and get ready for Knicks basketball tonight. Let's freaking go. So the key matchup that I do want to talk about, a key player on the New York Knicks I kind of wanted to talk about, is Josh Hart. Because I feel like Josh Hart has really established himself in these last few games as a player that's trending in the right direction for these New York Knicks. Obviously, we need somebody to step up next to Jalen Brunson, and I feel like Josh Hart's been able to do that. I mean, even he did play 47 minutes, which I kind of don't like, but hey, that's Tom Thibodeau for us. Tom Thibodeau does all those types of things. 47 minutes against the Golden State Warriors. He had 14 points, 18 rebounds, 7 assists. Wow. 2 steals. That is ridiculous from Josh Hart. I mean, if you play that many minutes, that's pretty much what you're expecting. But I feel like he's been just in a different rhythm as of late. And if he continues to be this offensive weapon for this Knicks team, filling in for OG, it's only going to help this Knicks squad more and more and more. Now, Dante DiVincenzo, I feel like he's in a little shooting slump right now. The volume's still there. I mean, we could expect him to shoot ridiculous amounts, but the shots were not falling against the Golden State Warriors for Dante. 2 of 12 from three-point land, 6 of 21 from the field. That's not going to cut it. We need people to be able to step up next to Jalen Brunson, because Brunson did what he usually does. 27 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists on an efficient 44% from the field, 57% from 3. That's the issue right now with these New York Knicks, is I feel like the people around Jalen Brunson got to be more consistent. Brunson is the key of consistency. He is the king of that. Every single night we know what to expect from Jalen Brunson, but it feels like we don't know who's going to be that guy to come in and be that secondary scorer on a consistent basis. We're missing Julius Randle. He was that guy. Now, another play I do want to highlight that I kind of want to talk to you guys about that I feel like has been developing and been so fun to watch and deserves more minutes, that's Deuce McBride, bro. Deuce McBride's playing his best basketball of his entire career against the Warriors off the bench. 22 minutes, 14 points for Deuce McBride. 2 rebounds, 3 steals for Deuce. I feel like he is really developing into a player that deserves meaningful minutes in this rotation. And I absolutely love that he got more minutes than Alec Burks. Alec Burks only had 11 minutes in that game. I know Thibodeau said he regretted it, but I don't know. Burks has not been playing good basketball since that trade. But Deuce McBride could be a key here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know your thoughts about Deuce McBride in the chat right now, because he has been somebody that I have been absolutely super impressed with. Every single time he subs in, it feels like he hits a contested mid-range moon shot. Cash. He hits a three-pointer in transition. He attacks the paint and finishes through contact. He's playing hard-nosed defense. We're seeing a new development of Deuce McBride in year number 3, and it is an absolute joy to watch. But how can he help this Knicks team win some games? Because we can all praise the individual performances of certain players, but at the end of the day, all that matters is winning and losing, and the Knicks right now are unfortunately on the opposite side of winning. Fabian's in the chat. What's up, Richie Rich? What's up, bro? Good to see you, my friend. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Again, it's 12:50 on a Sunday. Beautiful, beautiful day outside. Highly recommend you folks step outside, get some sun on the skin, breathe in some fresh air, because it was raining these past few days. Pretty not good weather. And now, woo, the weather's nice. I can't wait to get outside after this show. Like I said, killing some time before the big matchup on ESPN. Folks, don't forget to hit that like button on your way into the show. Hope you guys are having a fantastic, fantastic Sunday. Now, we're breaking down Deuce McBride, but there's other players on this Knicks team that I did want to talk about, and that's just the injuries, right? OG Anunoby, what is the expectation from OG Anunoby when he returns from his injury? Because is he going to be able to slot in and be immediately like hitting his shots? Because he has a right elbow, injury. He's coming off a right elbow surgery, and that is your shooting. That is a shooting arm. I don't know about you guys, but should we expect OG to be able to hit all of his shots right away? Is he going to be knocking down those corner threes, those catch and shoot, right? He's more of a defensive player. That's what he's going to be able to do. I still think he's not going to be rusty on defense. When he comes back, we're going to feel his, presence on defense. But my question about OG when he does return is how fast is he going to be able to get back into the rhythm of his offense? Because unfortunately, he got injured at such a bad time. His offense was really developing because remember that game against Denver? That was this kind of like moment as a Knick. 6 steals, like 20-plus points. That was a phenomenal game from OG. And then, of course, he was out those next few games, and then he got shut down and got that procedure done. So I really think that the addition of OG in these next few weeks is going to help this Knicks team a lot. And I know that right now, Knicks fans have their head down low. Like, we had this special season that we felt like we were unbeatable, and now the injuries are starting to catch up. But I'm telling you right now, if OG comes back and gets back to his usual self, that what he was playing when he first came here, and if Julius Randle can actually come back and play through that shoulder, and Mitchell Robinson, like Tom Thibodeau said, he's expecting those 3 players to be back by the end of the month. And I'm telling you right now, if those 3 players come back and everybody around them stays healthy, I still strongly believe this Knicks team is going to be dangerous, okay? We are going to be a scary team come playoff time. And I know that we have a long way to go. We want to avoid the play-in tournament. We're low-key, like, going down in the standings because of this little rut that we're in. But I'm here to tell you guys, don't hang your head too low. Help is on the way. Bodega Mayor says, my boy Richie, what's up, bro? He got to secure home court as much as possible. Yeah, we need to try to find that 4th seed or more. That's what I'm aiming for. Absolutely. We don't want to get anything below the 4th seed. Realistically, anything below the 6th seed. 6th seed is the bare minimum. We do not want to be in the play-in tournament. I don't expect the Knicks to be in the play-in tournament. Unfortunately, like I said, they are definitely in a little rut right now, and I think the injuries has a lot to do with it. Jimmy from Seattle, my guy, we just got to win the games we're supposed to until our dogs come home. Now, are we supposed to win tonight? According to BetUS, we're not the favorites. As you could see, the odds right there on the left side of the screen, we are not betting favorites at all in tonight's matchup. So I did want to go deeper into the odds presented by BetUS. As you guys know, the proud sponsor of the channel. Don't forget to click that link in the description to get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,500. Now, look at this. The Knicks are at plus 6.5. So Vegas does not like the Knicks tonight. We're in Cleveland. We haven't been playing our best ball. The injuries are catching up. The Cleveland Cavaliers are unfortunately the better team this season. They are. I mean, I hate to admit it, but it's the true fact. It's the hard-hold truth. So that's really what I'm looking at for the Knicks. And if you feel like the Knicks can actually pull off this W, the plus 200 money line is definitely appealing for me. Now, they also have a great prop builder, and I always love to go on these props because I've been winning some parlays. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. They have a really, really fun parlay builder, and I'm gonna build a parlay with us right now. I think Dante is going to break out of his shooting slump and get over 16.5 points, 110%. That is no doubt. Assists, that's a tough one for me because I feel like it feels like any given night. Now, what's Brunson at? 6.5, that's a lot. I like Josh Hart getting over 4.5 assists. He's been facilitating the rock a lot. And then we'll add one player to get 3-pointers. Who will it be? I got, let's see, Dante over 3.5. Brunson over 2.5 threes is a lock. He's been absolutely money. These odds are at plus 400. So Dante to get 17 points, Josh Hart to get 5 assists, and Brunson to hit 3 total threes. Those odds are 400 on BetUS Sportsbooks. If you want to trail my 3-leg parlay on BetUS, here it is, guys. Don't forget to click that link in the description to open up your BetUS account today. Definitely some fun bets and parlays we're putting on, presented by BetUS. Now, Jimmy says, in order for us to be in the best position possible, we got to win tonight. Tonight is such a big game, bro. It really is. You look at the standings, things are getting really spicy, bro. Josh Hart is a lock. Yeah, I mean, Josh Hart will have 4.5 assists. He had 7 assists. He's becoming like, and dude, Tom Thibodeau's playing this man like 48 minutes a game, it feels like. The guy had 50 seconds of rest against the Warriors. Do I have to say that again? Josh Hart had 50 seconds of rest against the Warriors. Tom Thibodeau. Only Tom Tibbs. We had to make sure we don't continue that. We need other players to step up. Now, I do want to have the tough conversation with you guys right now. I want you all in the chat to feel free to open up and let your opinions be heard, because this is a touchy subject. How do you feel about the trade that we did? How do you feel about landing Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks? Because, we have been losing since we made that trade, right? We're used to, as Knicks fans, making a trade and everything is sunshine and flowers and winning, right? We trade for Josh Hart last year. We go on a huge win streak. We trade for OG Anunoby earlier this year. We go on a huge win streak. We trade for Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks. We don't go on a winning streak. We're on a losing streak, okay? So, obviously, this trade is a little different. And Alec Burks is really not established himself that he is playing good ball. And it's really hurting this Knicks team, I got to admit. Now, Bojan Bogdanovic, I like him. I feel like he still has a lot of, juice left in the tank. And I feel like when it comes playoff time, he's going to be a clutch player. And then Burks still has that potential. I'm not writing off Burks so prematurely just because it's been 8 games. But at the same time, we need him to step up. Because since that trade, bro, we have not been playing our best ball. But at the end of the day, when we have everybody return and OG is starting with Randall and Mitch, and we can get Josh Hart to go off the bench with the players that we're playing right now and not have Josh play starting minutes and like have Josh Hart run with the bench of Alec Burks and Bojan and Deuce and Precious, like that's when I feel like we're going to see the full potential of this Knicks team. Jimmy says, it's too early to tell. Bogey is off and on, but I trust him. Alec Burks has been pissing me off. Burks has been pissing me off too. It's just the way that he plays the game, bro. Yeah, but Burks and Bogey playing roles that they are not used to playing, but no excuses. Yeah, I mean, we don't want to, I'm not prematurely saying like it's a bad trade, but at the end of the day, there is a lot that needs to be talked about in terms of what needs to improve. There's a lot that needs to improve, bro, because this isn't acceptable. It isn't. I know it's too early. It's 8 games in, but okay, you had 8 games to acclimate yourself. They got to find their rhythm coming off the bench, and they got to figure out how to help this team win basketball games. And honestly, Burks is the one I'm concerned about, not Bojan. Bogdanovic, I got all the confidence in. But Burks, he's been just taking bad shots. I feel like that's his issue. Burks has just a terrible shot selection. Like, you guys ever play 2K and you're in my career and you're trying to get your teammate grade up? And every time, you take a bad shot, you got that bad shot selection and it ruins your grade. Like, that's Alec Burks. His teammate grade, I'm sorry to connect it to 2K. I don't know if you guys play it or not, but like, I feel like Alec Burks' teammate grade, if this was 2K, would be an F every single game because he's taking bad shots. He's being selfish with the ball. He's forcing things up. He's shooting under 40% from the field for the entire season. Yes, he is shooting 40% from 3, but he's not efficient. And he's throwing just bricks up, absolute bricks. Now, the one thing about Burks is he is a player that can hit those tough shots, so he has to take tough shots in order to hit them. But, man, he's frustrating to watch. He's absolutely frustrating to watch. And I honestly want to say that Alec Burks could be a wild card for this Knicks team because if he can turn the corner and play the at the top of his game. Now, we all know what Alec Burks looks like when he's playing well. And it's really good ball. He knocks down threes, hits floaters, facilitates the rock, plays solid defense, and hits clutch shots. That's the Alec Burks we need. We haven't seen that once, okay? We need Alec Burks to be off the ball. That's how I like him better. I don't want him being the primary ball handler. I don't want him taking the ball up. I don't want him, running pick and rolls because he's not passing on those opportunities. He's just shooting and putting up bricks. He needs to find a way to play within the system of Tom Thibodeau. And before he got here, the system of Tom Thibodeau is working to perfection offensively. They're playing unselfish ball, playing for one another, feeding each other, like making the extra pass. And I feel like when Burks came out there, he's like ruining the whole rhythm. So he's got to figure himself out, as well as Bojan Bogdanovic, who I do have a lot more confidence in, because the bench has been the key for the Knicks' success all season long. And then when we made that OG trade, we kind of had an issue off the bench because we traded away quickly. We don't have a primary scorer off the bench. So the Knicks wanted to make a trade to get Bogdanovic and Burks to have some more scoring and more firepower coming off the bench, and they just have not fit the system and the chemistry with this Knicks team just yet. Now, luckily for us, we have a guy named Jalen Brunson who is good enough to lead us to win any game we want, but at the same time, we need someone to step up next to him. We can't have Dante put up 2 for 12 from three-point land because Dante is the secondary scorer next to Jalen Brunson with all the injuries. So we can't have Dante be ice cold. We need him to heat up because when Dante is hot and he can put up 20 to 25, even sometimes 28, and match that with Jalen Brunson's 27 to 30 points, then this Knicks team is hard to beat because that is how they have been winning with all the injuries, is Dante DiVincenzo being that scorer. Not to mention Precious Achiuwa, Isaiah Hartenstein, Jericho Sims, those three big fellas, they're also keys here, right? While we're waiting for Mitchell Robinson to return, we need to make sure the big fellas continue to dominate the glass, crash the defensive boards, get the Knicks offensive rebounds, kick the ball out, play defense, protect the rim. That is kind of the heart and soul of Tom Thibodeau's defensive system. And without that, everything goes to crap because then it opens up shooters. There's no defensive presence. So I feel like for the Knicks tonight, right, for the Cavaliers, they have to make sure. And I feel like I say this every preview show, but it translates to every game. And we saw why, I have to say this, against the Warriors. We can't get off to a slow start. If we get off to a slow start in Cleveland and we go down double figures in the first quarter again, it's going to be really tough because this Knicks team is not built to come from behind from a huge deficit. Yes, they're capable of doing it. They can go on some runs, but this Knicks team is built on having a lead and protecting it or being in a tight game and playing at their pace. Because when they're playing off their pace and they have to kind of play catch up, they kind of lose themselves of what type of Knicks team this is. They like to play fast in transition, play half-court defense, and really just like bruise them and be a team that likes to out-physical other opponents, out-hustle other opponents, and that really comes down to getting off to a fast start. And the Knicks have not been doing that as of late. Going down 14-0 against the Warriors on your home floor, missing your first 10 or so shots, that's unacceptable. It could happen, right? It's the regular season. There's ebbs and flows. So, we can't expect this Knicks team to be, just dominating every team and scoring at will every single game. There will be some off nights. We got to humble ourselves and realize this is the game of basketball, and it's like a game of ups and downs. And unfortunately, right now, we're on the downs, which hopefully will bring us back up eventually, and we can find our rhythm because all this big rut that we're in right now, we can completely forget about if we find our rhythm midway through this month when we get the injuries back and then we get hot in early April heading into the playoffs. That is the key, folks. That is the key right there. We got to figure out to stay afloat, get healthy, and get these Knicks team back with OG, Mitch, and Randall. And then when they're back at the end of the month, those last 2 weeks in the first month of April, we need to play our best ball. We need to be able to go on a win streak and propel us in the standings and go into the playoffs with a rhythm, go into the playoffs with momentum. I think that is the biggest key to any sport, even the NFL. The teams that usually finish off the NFL season on a winning streak or winning heading into the postseason, it carries over. The Knicks got to be able to find themselves so they can carry over into the playoffs. Right now, we still have a month and a half to go before the playoffs. So there's a lot of time for this Knicks team to figure each other out. But I will say the injuries are beginning to catch up for this Knicks team, and it's so frustrating because we can't see the full potential of the squad just yet. But don't worry, folks. It's coming, baby. It's coming. I still believe in this Knicks team, and so should you. Do not let these last 10 or so games really make you feel like, yeah, this Knicks team's not built to do anything. They are. They're just unfortunately injured, and we've been able to stay afloat to this point with the injuries, but we had to be real. We have to be realistic. It's really hard to stay afloat, man. It's hard to stay afloat forever with the injuries that we're suffering. Jimmy Says, I'll say it every game. We play at the slowest pace in the NBA. Hard to win games in the regular season playing slow. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we play slow more on defense. Like, we really try to have a half-court set. But I will say, on the offensive side, we do like to run in transition, right? When Josh Hart gets a board, he loves to push the pace. You hear Tom Thibodeau barking, go, go, go. Like, they like to push the pace, but when it comes to the defense, the Knicks like to slow teams down, so we like to play our brand of ball, which is that slow-paced, hard earning every single bucket. And I feel like sometimes it gets to us because we're not the fastest team in transition. We like to try to push the pace, but at times we get lost in it and go into half-court sets, and then we're not getting that rhythm on offense that we saw earlier this season. Because the offense, when it hit this peak, during that 9-game winning streak when we were literally blowing out the Nuggets, blowing out any team that came against this Knicks team, it was because the offense was so fluid mixed in with the defensive dominance. When OG Anunoby plugged in with this Knicks team, when Julius was still with us, it spaced the floor so beautifully that it was like just gorgeous to watch. Julius Randle has never had more space to work. OG Anunoby would just camp out in the corner. Jalen Brunson would have all the space in the world, and it just made the offense work so well. And then OG goes down, Randall goes down, Josh Hart slides into the starting rotation, as well as Precious Achiuwa. And the reality is the offense took a gigantic step back. So that's really what the issue is right now. That's what the issue is. Richie, who's tonight's X factor? Well, besides the obvious Jalen Brunson, because we need Brunson to have like an all-star level type of game against the Cavs. He needs to match Donovan Mitchell as the star in terms of putting up 30+. I feel like we don't win tonight without Brunson put up 30+. But besides Jalen Brunson, it's Dante DiVincenzo. Because if Dante did what he did against the Warriors, we're losing tonight. If Dante did what he did against whatever team he dropped 27 a night on, we have a good chance of winning. As great as Jalen Brunson is, we can't win games with just Brunson doing all the work, offensively speaking. We need a secondary scorer, and there's nobody on this Knicks team I trust more to be the secondary scorer next to Brunson more than I do with Dante DiVincenzo. Okay? The other guy you can say has potential to be that is Bojan Bogdanovic. He's like the only Knicks player on this squad that I feel have confidence that is an offensive threat that I can have confidence in. Deuce McBride's still finding himself when I'm so impressed with his development. Alec Burks I have no confidence in. Josh Hart is not a scorer, even though his offense is definitely trending in the right direction right now. But I will have to say Dante DiVincenzo is my X factor. Let me know in the chat right now, guys. Who do you think tonight's X factor is for the New York Knicks? Let me know in the chat right now. Jimmy says, I agree, Richie, but watch every time the other squad slows us down on offense. We struggle finding shots other than Brunson making the D hedge and show. Yeah, I agree, Jimmy, in that. And I feel like that's the opposition's plan to slow down the Knicks offense is to force us to be in half-court sets as well. Because I feel like the Knicks offense is at its best when we're moving, when we're doing high-paced transition. But when they slow us down, that's when they blitz Brunson. That's when they double-team him. That's when they get the ball out of his hands and they struggle. So 100% I agree. Always shooting shots near the end of the shot clock. Yeah, I hate that, bro. Donovan Mitchell is questionable for tonight's game. He was out last game against the Pistons. Yes, that is true. Donovan Mitchell is questionable tonight. Now, if Donovan Mitchell's not playing, there's no excuse. We got to get this dub. We got to get this dub, right? Absolutely. Because we have injuries. They're without their main guy. We got to get the dub. Folks, don't forget to hit the like button for your boy right now. The Knicks are on tonight on ESPN. Hit that like button right now for your boy. Subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday. It's a beautiful, beautiful day outside, and we're excited to continuously talk about these New York Knicks. Let's freaking go. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way into the show. Let's get score predictions in the chat right now of what you feel like is going to happen. What is the vibes tonight? Let me know right now. Score prediction. X Factor is bogey. I love it. I mean, you talk about if Bojan can come off the bench and light it up and give us a cool 23 points. Woo, we need that. Richie, I just heard it's unlikely he will play. Okay, that's big. If Donovan's unlikely to play tonight, there's no excuse. We have to win. Okay, now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know if the odds changed yet. Sorry, I was getting a call. I don't know if the odds changed yet, but let me see. So the Knicks on BetUS, if Donovan Mitchell's not playing, these odds are going to flip. Just saying. So the Knicks are at plus 205 on BetUS. So if you guys want to open up your account for BetUS right now, and you guys feel like Donovan, because right when they announced officially Donovan's out, these odds are going to flip. I guarantee you that the Knicks might even go down significant. So these odds right now are with Donovan playing. I'll tell you that much. But when Donovan is potentially ruled out, I promise you these odds are going to flip. So if you guys want to take advantage of BetUS's deal of a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, definitely use my link in the description to open up your account. You get free money on your boy. Free money. If you click that link, open up an account, put some money in, and they will give you free money to put some bets on. And make sure you guys bet responsibly. So let's freaking go. Jimmy, 105, 97 Knicks, love it. 114, 107, love it. Nick, X Factor, Hartenstein. I like that. Hartenstein is very important to this Knicks team. 115, 108 Knicks win. We need that. We need that. You know Jalen Adante going to kill it. I know Jalen's killing it because he just plays his best ball against the Cavs. I can't wait. Sydney's in the chat. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Kicks. Thank you, Sydney. Appreciate you tuning in. So, folks, please don't forget to hit the like button. We're going to wrap up the show here, guys. I'll see you guys tonight for the post-game recap. Hopefully the Knicks can get the job done and get the W in Cleveland. This is a gigantic game that has so much at stake for the Eastern Conference standings. Let's see what happens. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Knicks Cavaliers preview show powered by BetUS Sportsbook. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. Go outside. Get some sun on your face. It's a beautiful day outside in New York. I can't wait to do that right now. Salute to the chat. Salute to Knicks Nation. I love you all. Let's go, Knicks. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.